Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
FTX is bankrupt. Sam Bankman-Fried outed as a scam, bankrupt, fraud, billions gone, hundreds of millions being sent who knows where. Last week on Scam Economy, we talked about how SBF's crypto empire was likely insolvent, and I'd said we'd be talking about it on future episodes. I wasn't quite sure, but I guess it's not too surprising that it all unraveled literally in the week that episode published. Welcome to Scam Economy, everyone. I am your host, Matt Binder, and this is easily one of the most insane weeks in crypto ever. And there is honestly so much to talk about. We have an extra long episode for you all today, so I'm not even gonna take the time to do my usual promos like patreon.com/mattbinder, where you can support this show by becoming a monthly subscriber. I'm not going to take the time to say you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Just search for Matt Binder. I'm also not going to say go to scameconomy.com for all the links to the podcast version of this show. I think you all see what I'm doing here. But anyway, let's get right into it. Here with me right now is Ed Zitron. Ed, thank you for joining me again.
Thank you. It's been too long.
Yes, it's been very long, and I need to explain. For everybody here. This is the second time when I said nice to see you again, Ed, I don't mean the last time you came on this show a few months ago. I mean, for me, I just spoke with Ed last night.
Like about
Friday,
24 hours ago. Yeah,
about 24 hours ago, Friday, November 11th. And I had thought at that time, oh man, this worked out perfectly because, last weekend was the Scam Economy episode of Mike Burgersberg, who helped break the story about FTX and Alameda possibly being insolvent. And basically that means Sam Bankman-Fried is scam, bankrupt-fraud. And, but, this was just in the works then. Like, this was just reporting that came out. Maybe it was, maybe there was something else up their sleeve. We didn't know then. And then when that episode released, I had to record a quick intro, like a quick add-on, I should say, that day, last Sunday, because that's in between Mike Burgersberg telling me all this and the episode dropping. That's when CZ, the founder and CEO of Binance, announced they were pulling out of their FTT holdings, which is FTX's token. And so that created this whole, avalanche of, what was it, $6 billion in withdrawals from FTX in a 72-hour period, which not good. And then Tuesday, the news comes out that CZ of Binance has offered to acquire FTX, meaning FTX is going to fail, pending a due diligence investigation. Less than 24 hours later, Binance says, we saw what we saw in their books, and we can't do anything about this. We are not touching FTX. Good luck, Sam Bankman-Fried. And so then the next day, there's some reporting coming out about, the U.S. Department of Justice interested in what's going on here, reaching out to Binance to find out what they saw. And then Friday morning, FTX announces they're going bankrupt. And throughout this whole time period, Sam Bankman-Fried is saying, don't worry, I'm, getting funding. I apologize. It was my math that was off. I messed up a little bit, but, maybe things will pull through. Don't worry, FTX US users. You are completely different from the FTX Global Exchange. You're safe. That turned out not to be true because FTX US, Alameda, the trading firm, and over 100 other affiliates are involved in this bankruptcy. And so you and me talked last night after the bankruptcy is announced, and I'm thinking, we're safe. This episode goes up Sunday. What's going to happen in 2 days after a bankruptcy? Put a pin on it. We're done until, the bankruptcy litigation and all that comes up.
What is the worst thing that could happen within several hours of us talking?
Right. Oh, yeah. And I should say that literally we finished talking. And Ed, I think you actually might be one of the people who experienced it in real time and was so like clued in. Like you were like, I was following you at a certain point to find out what was going on because it was just happening so fast. So why don't you explain to everybody why it is we are talking about 24 hours after we've already recorded the FTX episode? What the hell happened Friday night between what was it, like 10 or 11 p.m.? I would say it went up until like...
No. Oh, yeah. It was Eastern time, right?
Right.
Okay, so I thought I was done with my week, and I was sitting there outside. I was like, oh, it's a nice evening. It's nice and crisp. Then I see this weird thing that says, because... So here's something that people actually don't know about me. I actually do know crypto very, very, very well. I've watched many sidechain. I was there at the beginning of BSC. I saw PancakeSwap grow. I've seen some weird shit. Doesn't make me special, but it means that I at least know who to follow. And, pardon me. So I see this weird thing within the whole sphere, and I'm bringing the tweets up now, where it's, let's see. Someone was saying delete the app right now. Delete the FTX app. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I scroll, and it looks like people are saying that the FTX app, and it wasn't obvious if the web app, because you can't open FTX.com in America, because it goes to the very legitimate FTX US. So I was just watching, and what it was it appeared to be they injected JavaScript into the app that would, pardon me, my cat is deciding to join in. But they were injecting malware saying that basically they could take over your account. It was very confusing because it was definitely malware. It was like a 650 megabyte malware thing. I don't know my InfoSec. And then money started leaving FTX in quite some volume, hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, at this point, you'd think, okay, so what Ed's going to say is that the money goes and then the evening ends. Fuck no. I was there for several hours watching this happen, and hundreds of millions of dollars started flowing out, but in three different directions. One, to a very big wallet. One, like maybe it ended up being about $450 million to one wallet and then splintered into a bazillion others, and then about 185 into a multi-sig wallet. This ended up being a white hat hacker. People called him a white hat because they weren't trying to liquidate. The black hat hacker was liquidating quite some stuff. I don't know if he succeeded, or I'm just gendering him because all men are thieves, but he was liquidating stuff like Pax Gold, which is a stable coin pegged to the value of gold, which was, I know, at least briefly knocked off its peg, which is really bad. It's really bad. So he stole all this money. And while this was happening, there was then a report from Ryan, who is the chief counsel at FTX, who said, okay, it's fine. There was a weird hack, but we're putting money in cold storage. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I should also add, at the same time, the FTX Telegram, not the Twitter, not their general counsel, says, oh, we've been hacked. All the money's gone. So all of it's gone. So you've now got several statements, but two of them from FTX. One of them is, we moved some money because we saw some weird transactions. And another one was the FTX Telegram saying, it's all gone. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you, mate. Shit happens all the time here.
How much are we talking about here?
About 600 million from what I think. But then it was weird because there's a third wallet, which is the cold storage with over $1 billion, which doesn't make total sense because, as we now know, so much stuff has happened. I feel like more stuff happened in the last 24 hours than we talked about in the episode. But apparently there was only $1 billion worth of actual money in FTX. This came out sometime. But there was like $9 billion worth of liabilities. On top of that, apparently Sam Bankman-Fried, built his own backdoor to the FTX system where he could just take money out and no one would know. And so that is now, which is now a rumor that I believe to be true, but I also believe more people knew about the backdoor, and in fact, that has now come to light. Now, the thing that none of you will see, unless you go and read my tweets, which you can watch a man go mad in complete real time. Just watch me just going like, all right. Sure.
Ed Zitron on Twitter, at Ed Zitron on Twitter. Go look at them.
But it was just watching, like, someone was making like meme coins to make fun of, like, Carolyn, one of the, I think she was the CEO of Alameda Research, one called FTX Bankrupt. And it is completely insane. But whoever the hacker is, clearly had developer access because the website went down for a bit as well. And also, this is just rumor. There's two rumors I'm going to address. One, nothing. Okay, I'll start with the one that's bullshit. Someone showed a flight leaving the Bahamas. It's like, it's Sam Bankman-Fried. He's going to... Bullshit. Any serious reporter mentioning that without saying could be bullshit is a fucking fraud. I'm sick of it. I saw so many people. I realize it's fun to want a funny thing to happen, but there's much funnier real stuff.
Now, also, why would that flight go to Argentina if it was him trying to escape? We have extradition, with them. Like, if you were gonna leave for somewhere, you would go somewhere.
Why would he leave then? Also, why would he leave then and not before stealing all the money?
Right.
Like real fucking simple criminal stuff. However, an eagle-eyed reader called David Williams at David_Williams, and this could be nothing, noted that the CTO of FTX, Gary Wang, was very active on GitHub the day of. Now, he could be working on something else. We do not know. But there was a flash of activity, a ton of activity of contributions the day before yesterday, because all this happened yesterday because things keep happening.
For people who wouldn't understand what GitHub is, and briefly explain, like, what that could mean.
GitHub is a place where people commit code, and it is an open source thing. I really do not know how to describe GitHub particularly well, but when you commit something to a code base, it shows your activity, and it shows a lot of activity. What's also interesting is the black hat hacker is liquidating. But they're not liquidating in enough money to actually cause the markets to crash. So we're just sitting at 16.8K right now. Now, the great thing about this was it was me just sitting in like multiple layers of clothing because I like being cold. I went outside and I sat there with my father until like 1 a.m, completely awake, texting a few other reporters. I guess I don't know if I want to call myself a reporter in this case, but it was completely insane because no one really knows what's happened. I am describing like a black hat hacker, a white hat hacker. Some people say the white hat could be an accomplice. And you know what the insane thing is? No one actually knows because FTX hasn't told anyone. The FTX Twitter did... I want to check this right now. I really want to make sure I'm correct on this. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a statement 8 hours ago from John Ray, what's his name? And what's great is this is a 3-tweet long thing from a guy called Ryan Miller, general counsel, as I've mentioned. I'm not going to read out this tweet because it actually does not really explain anything. Okay, I'll maybe read the second and third. Among other things, we're in the process of removing trading and withdrawal functionality. Well, you clearly should have done that before, mate. And moving as many digital assets as can be identified to a new wallet custodian. As widely reported, unauthorized access to certain assets has occurred. An active fact review and mitigation exercise was initiated immediately in response. We have been in contact and are coordinating with law enforcement and relevant regulators. Now, let me tell you something from watching this happen in real time. Immediately is the wrong word. That is not the word I would have chosen. Now, I would not describe their response as quick or immediate. I have accidentally misspelled things and reacted with more immediacy than this. I have responded to bowel movements with more immediacy than this guy. So at this point, they have claimed that this is partly them moving money, but what they're not explaining is literally anything else. Not a single fucking thing. But wait, it can get weirder because earlier on today, they found out, I mentioned this earlier, FTX International held just $900 million of liquid assets against $9 billion of liabilities, of which $470 million were in shares of Robinhood.
Right, I saw that. Oh my God.
And let's see, I'm just scrolling through because fuck yeah. So someone also listed, and this is something I didn't know, listed some of the investments that FTX Ventures and Alameda has made. Let me just read these out. $450 million, Yuga Labs, seed. Polygon, $450 million. Circle, as in the holders of USDC, $440 million. Genesis Digital, $431. Near Protocol, $350. Solana, $314. We knew that one. That was last year. I had no idea about Circle, and I certainly didn't know about Yuga Labs. If this leads to actual apes going, if this leads to all the apes being gone, I mean, it's going to be very funny. Like I said on a previous recording, $4.35 of actual exposure to this market. But last night was incredible because it was one of the more annoying things happens was Elon Musk turned up in a fucking crypto chat.
Yes.
He turns up in a Twitter space. He's like, "Hi guys, it's me, Elon. Doge to the moon." And all of these whiny little crypto goblins who should be looking at the larger picture, which is, hey, you're the second largest exchange previously, is being ransacked in an insane attack that is happening in real time. But you're choosing to listen to this fucking goof going, yeah, so what features would you like in Twitter? Would you like a crypto wallet in Twitter? And they're like, yes, Mr. Musk. Yeah, Mr. Musk, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. And it's like, this industry is impossible to fucking save. You are watching 9/11 happen, and you're like, oh, fuck, is that Will Smith? Like, I guess you didn't have a camera phone back then, but, like, it's, like, what the fuck is wrong with you that you're watching this, you're like, oh my God, Elon Musk, talk to me. Like, quite literally, the guy said, I didn't think today would begin with me talking to Elon Musk. Fuck you, shut the fuck up. I'm just so disappointed because, to be clear, the legitimate reporters didn't fall for this shit. But like all the crypto influencers, the moment Elon turns up,
right. And I should say, people will hear in a little bit when we play our when I play our conversation from just 24 hours ago. I did, we talk about Elon Musk a little bit because it comes up in, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, comes up in some of those texts from the Elon Musk Twitter trial, those private texts of Musk's that were released. And I did say, looking at these texts, it did seem like Musk was a little bit hesitant, was a little bit skeptical of SBF's liquidity. And I regret even giving him that because he's going around now really on Twitter patting himself on the back, constantly bringing up, which I didn't believe him for a second.
He didn't even pat himself on the back. It was so lame. It was like your 31-year-old brother walking into your college party. He was just like, hey guys, oh, your lives have been ruined. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Business Dracula. Like, he didn't do anything. He didn't contribute shit.
He's on Twitter now, actually. I'm talking about something different. He's on Twitter and he's going, where is this? Okay, here it is. So someone posts this Twitter user, Phil Bach. I don't know who he is. He posted a screenshot of the Sequoia interview with SBF, that profile that's so fawning.
So good.
And he says something like, my reaction to SBF was, and this is Musk talking in a reply, my reaction to SBF was different. And he says somewhere else too, I saw, where is this? he said something like something. Let me find it before, because I got to get this right. Exactly what he said. He might have deleted it. He might have deleted it, actually.
You might have deleted it. I'm going through Elon's fantastic tweets right now. Oh, sorry, he did include a When Dog series at Netflix. And it's like, shut the fuck up, man. How old? I guess. No, you know what? Actually, I'll say this about Elon Musk. If you read his tweets and think, oh, this guy's 56, it makes a lot more sense. This is about how a 46-year-old posts. Like, this is just an old guy trying to be cool. He reminds me of how everyone in the New York media tweeted in like 2012. Like they all discovered quasi-ironic posting with no good grammar. He's like, yeah, that's exactly what it's cool. That's how cool it is.
This is what I wanted to bring up. These text messages between Reuters and SBF.
You want to talk about this?
Just let's. I guess this is, I think, the last real. Like, there's probably 100 things we get into. But let's just wait. Did we talk about this yesterday?
One more thing with BlockFi.
No, we didn't talk about this yesterday because it came out after. Right, it came out today.
Oh wait, there's more texts with Elon?
No. Texts between Reuters and SBF.
Oh yeah. There's so many things.
Right, that's the thing. So let's. I guess this will be. And first of all, the secret back door. This comes up in here because without a doubt, we don't know what happened last night, but it's pretty clear that there had to have been some way for SBF to transfer those the FTX customer funds to Alameda without it, causing any red flags. A lot of FTX employees, and again, we have to take this with a grain of salt too, but they are saying that they had no idea SBF was doing this, transferring these funds. And you have to believe that if this is all true, how they're saying it, he had to have had some backdoor to do it. So Reuters, early this morning, in the AM hours, basically Reuters texts SBF about this this backdoor, and it's unbelievable. So
his response is wonderful.
Yes. So in text to Reuters, Bankman-Fried said he disagreed with the characterization of that $10 billion transfer I just mentioned. We didn't secretly transfer, he said. We had confusing internal labeling and misread it, he added without elaborating. Asked about the missing funds, Bankman-Fried responded with 3 question marks.
So funny. So funny. He does not know how funny he is. Like, he really has no... But that's actually something we haven't brought up. Remember we were talking about... remember, in the thing you're going to hear after this, we were talking about BlockFi and how BlockFi is insolvent. Well, it's actually worse. So there is an account called Autism Capital, which appears to be genuinely an authority in this stuff. Just at this point, fuck it. I'm smooth brained out. Nothing matters. Right. Everything's complete bullshit. The Autism Capital, so well-known, respected journalist, said the only reason that FTX bailed BlockFi out was to get user funds onto their platform to keep using in their shell game. They applied immense pressure to get BlockFi funds migrated to FTX custody. Employees were told by executives not to ask questions about the move. So it seems that the reason that he was buying companies was to literally buy liquidity. Now, what doesn't fucking make sense to me here is, was he just like straight up scraping? Like he was just like, yeah, I'll buy BlockFi. It'll be fine. And you can now operate a very similar endless scam to me. So he was just making little FTXs. He was just making other things where customers were borrowing funds from a company borrowing funds from customers. Like, my man's got like Matryoshka doll of Ponzi schemes. And what's great is for years people have said crypto's a Ponzi scheme. And I haven't liked that idea. Because generally a Ponzi scheme involves like giving something to someone while taking from someone else. Which, if you say all crypto is that you have to start doing things with real money, it's just fucking stupid. Really, what makes Ponzi scheme is the out and out, just like, and I will take from here to pay you, and I will take from here to pay you, and this works. This works as long as I have enough places to take from, and people don't ask too many times.
I'm one of those people who do think and have said that cryptocurrency is a Ponzi.
That's the thing. Maybe you're right after all this shit, but fuck, I don't know. I'm
cause,
so
cause,
what. The
think about it.
From it.
This is how
that is it. Because cryptocurrency is not a company. As a result, there is no central authority that receives the benefits. That's the definition. Right. Now, it is Ponzi adjacent, and it has also helped several other Ponzi's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could call it a Ponzi. What matters is that SBF, his entire crypto empire, is going up in flames. There is massive amounts of there's money that's billions and billions and billions just gone, and whatever is left, the hundreds of millions that apparently were left over, are now who knows where. Some of it is still in FTX's possession. Some of it might be with a white hat hacker. Some of it is with a black hat hacker. We literally don't know. And I've never seen anything. There have been crazy crypto stories. This I don't know if this is the absolute craziest, but it certainly is up there. It's certainly up there.
Well, things are getting weird again because the FTX exchange contract an hour and a half ago sent, let's see how much, roughly 195 million FTT tokens to what appears to be a personal wallet, along with about 2,000 Ethereum.
You know what? I do think this is pure speculation, but just from everything we know so far, and obviously this is just one theory I'm putting out there. It's one that you already said, although I'm not going to say it's that specific individual. This does read to me like this is some sort of, again, I don't even know if SBF's involved. This might be some members in his polycule going rogue, which we get into in a little bit.
Reaching out saying it's not a polycule, and I'd just like to say I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I don't care what you do, but don't fucking come to me with the Wikipedia page for polycule telling me who's sucking and fucking who and why it matters. I don't care. They're a poly in the cule. I don't give a shit. It's like a cubicle. I don't care. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to grow. This is not happening. I'm too busy looking at... I honestly think we should just stay on the line for another 7 hours at this point. Because,
just to be safe, right, yeah.
No, because, like, I'm deadly serious. I nearly wrote a newsletter today. I don't work on weekends. Like, that's a very important thing for me. My boys, same deal. But I was like, I should put one out. I'm glad I didn't, because who the fuck knows happened? But, pardon me. But what's really interesting here is, I think I said this on the other recording, I'll say it again. It took about 5 months for the the consequences of 3AC to really hit everything. It took a while. However, this is already going to 11, and it has been like 14 minutes. Like, this story, I don't think either of us can record another episode this weekend.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, man. I tried to bail on this, not because I love doing this podcast, but I'm just like, I'm so tired. I went to bed I woke up at 7 in the morning after going to bed at 1. I had vivid, very personal dreams, reckoning with things I've been thinking about. I woke up mentally exhausted, I'd done therapy while sleeping. I went and I lifted, and I was just like, oh my God, I hope nothing weird happens. And it probably will now. Just to be clear, that's a lot of, that's 199 million FTT that is being put. That's several $100 million. I really hope they dump it into the market. Fuck, that's the one thing. I think it's actually a good place to really put a bonnet on it, which is This still hasn't hit the market because it's also really hard to liquidate this much crypto. But that's the one thing that's pissing me off with this. These fucking hackers, this inside job people, they're not even cool enough to destroy everything on the way out. Like, come on, you already fucked the industry up. Go nuts. Blow shit up on the way out.
Right.
It's boring. Even the
Well, they
fucking
gotta cash out
dollar.
first, though. They gotta cash out.
Yeah,
first.
but you're not going to be able to cash out. The moment this turns into a real dollar, there will be a member of a government or a criminal organization there with a big gun, and they will not be in trouble if they shoot you dead. Like, this is so. But I would actually. I will say I agree with you. I do not think this is SBF. I don't think SBF's. I think he's very smart in like one real specific way, and then like catastrophically stupid in another. Like, he was probably just thinking nothing bad would ever happen to him, which is how 3AC happened.
He's crypto's Elizabeth Holmes. He was able to convince people. He's able to convince people that he was smart. That's all.
Technically, FTX had a product.
That's true. Yeah.
Actually, if you actually think about it, maybe you're completely correct, because Theranos did take blood samples and then put them through regular blood things.
Right.
Like, so maybe if like
Right.
FTT. But I mean, the service of still exchanging cryptocurrency was the fundamentals that were the problem. Henry Kissinger will outlast FTX.
Well,
You think he still kept his board seat from Theranos?
who knows? Who knows? Oh my God.
We'll never know.
I think you're right. I think, people have heard from me, Matt Binder, and you, Ed Zitron, enough at this point, and they still have to listen to right now a whole conversation between me, Matt Binder, and you, Ed Zitron. So,
thank you so much for listening. I'm so sorry.
Ed, thank you for recording this update with me. Everyone, what you're about to hear, completely still solid. Nothing is out of date. We just needed to update you with the latest. Everything you're about to hear is still 100% legit, correct, and up to date as well. So here we go. Here's Ed Zitron again.
Goodbye, hello.
And joining me now on what is the most, incredible, insane, unbelievable week in crypto. Ed Zitron of the Easy PR Substack newsletter. Welcome back, Ed. Always a pleasure to have you on this show.
Oh, I'm ready. I just wish you'd have pulled me on a time when there was actually news. There's nothing to talk about.
Oh, right. Well, really quick, I do have to pat myself on the back a little bit because last week I had Mike Burgersberg of Dirty Bubble Media newsletter on this show, and
The GOAT.
He along with Ian Allison of CoinDesk, the two of them broke this story, and I mean, I don't know how else to say.
You're leaving someone else out?
Well, you were calling it. You were calling it.
I called it in August, baby.
Yeah, you were calling it. But they
did actual journalism.
They had the proof
tweet.
Positive, right? Yeah. I mean,
Just make a fucking tweet that could be, doesn't matter if I'm wrong or right.
No, but you called it because I mean you saw what was coming. I mean, so last week Mike Burgersberg walked us through the FTX Celsius connection, which actually, as interesting as that was, didn't end up really mattering in the big picture, I guess. I mean, it will.
Voyager one did though.
Yeah. Alameda being insolvent. Well, it turns out that that report was so legit to players in the crypto scene that Binance, for example, CZ, founder and CEO of Binance, decided they were going to pull out of FTT token, FTX's crypto token, and then that sell-off started 6 billion. Customers withdrawing $6 billion in funds from FTX in like a 72-hour period after that, and then from there it was really just all downhill.
Well, here's the important thing that happened. So just to be clear, this all happened and there was 72 hours, $6 billion. And then Sam Bankman-Fried goes out and tweets and says, listen, it's all right. Binance is going to acquire us. And then that doesn't happen because due diligence happened and Binance went, oh shit, did you lose like $10 billion? And Sam Bankman-Fried said, ooh, mate, yes. I lost it. I'm very sorry. What happened was I stole it. Well, okay, that's not totally what he did. What happened was he was just taking money from FTX to cover losses from his trading firm. But then he says the reason that he actually fucked up everything, which is the funniest reason ever, was that he was incorrect about the amount of margin his customers were taking. He was like, so literally what happened was he went, oh shit, the people who I'm stealing money from are borrowing too much money from me. And so what I think happened was the Binance news came out, and I think probably the CoinDesk news came out. And I think a bunch of people did margin loans on FTX against FTT, being like, I think this shit's going to go down. And then pop, it did. Because $6 billion is a lot of money to pull at once.
Oh, right. Oh, for sure.
I think it was partly institutional investors, but I honestly think it's people who were just hedging against SBF because that's so much money. But what's funnier is apparently FTX was basically run by a polycule of 10 different people sucking and fucking.
Well, I didn't know this about Sam Bankman-Fried.
Which is the most important part of the entire story.
Right. Why don't you break CoinDesk? Who was the reporter who broke that one? We should
believe that was Tracy. Ian Allison legit may deserve a Pulitzer for this. He may legit actually be. He should. I don't say that lightly, but I think it was Tracy Wong.
With the polycule, right? I mean, why don't you tell listeners about that? I mean, get a little. People who don't know what a polycule is. This is a crypto show, obviously, so people don't know what a polycule is. Please.
So I say this fully. I don't care about people's sexual preferences as long as no one's getting hurt, as long as it's legal, as long as no one's being exploited. Do who or whatever you want to do. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. But apparently they just lived in this giant place in the Bahamas, like 10 people who were in and out of relationships. And I guess other things were in and out as well. And I'm actually going to bring you an exclusive report from one of my sources because someone did reach out about the polycule. Apparently, there was someone whose entire job was to resolve disputes in the polycule.
Oh.
He'd have to fly in from the East Coast because apparently everyone in the polycule was constantly mad at each other. It was actually like they hate each other. Well, hate is probably, they said like they were always annoyed at each other. So apparently this person would have to fly in from the East Coast and be like, all right, oh, fuck, who's pissed off now? So you fucked him, you fucked her, and they're mad, not because of the fucking so much as what was said during the I mean, you pay me $16 million a day, so I will be here, but like, I hate you. Okay, that part's made up, but there is genuinely a person who had to fly in and resolve difficulties. But a polycule is a group of people who are all in a polyamorous relationship with each other. And again, no problem with it. But to be clear, these people were also the people basically running Alameda Research, which had $14 billion assets under management, and who probably destroyed the livelihoods of several million people. And it turns out that it was largely because someone was not great at mathematics. It's fucking insane. And like fucking Sequoia gave this dipshit all this money. And they're like, yeah, it's fucking fine. Who gives a shit?
Oh, there were tons. I was just reading. Oh, I can't recall now. I should have had it open, but I was just reading that the investors in FTX basically were not given a seat on a board. They were not given any sort of internal information. It was basically, listen, this is the crypto wonder kid. This guy, SBF, in 5 years has created this multi-billion-dollar crypto empire. You're not going to trust him? And they were like, you're right. Here's the money. You're right.
Yo, fuck yeah. It's so good. It's so good because no one should, there are like 18 people who should get fired now. Like people at Sequoia, anyone at Sequoia who did this deal should be getting an email that says regarding your contract. Like that person needs to be. They need to do like when a head coach of a football team loses too many times. It's out the door. Sorry, mate.
For people who don't know, Sequoia's a VC firm.
My apologies. Yes, they're
No,
one
no.
of the many legitimate VC firms that invested in Sam Bankman-Fried, pardon me, Freudian slip.
I mean, you go scam, bankrupt, fraud now. I mean, literally hit all three.
I like Sam Bankrupt-Fraud. That's my favorite I've come up with.
Right.
But it's so fucking crazy because it wasn't even like, and to be clear, when I made my bet on August 9th, 2022, the reason I said that I thought SBF was going under, and I made the call that I think SBF is just made up of like 400 loans, which was too correct. I didn't like how correct that was. But my logic was because he was wrapped up in this Voyager thing. And it wasn't obvious why, but he either owed like 300 million or $1 billion to Voyager, just those small amounts of money that we all regularly may or may not owe to people. But on top of that, he deliberately reduced his holdings in Voyager Digital, which is a public company in Canada. He deliberately reduced it below the level at which he'd have to start doing financial disclosures himself, which sounds dodgy as fuck. And I was right. It's probably because he didn't know how to do them. It's just like, you got to see real money? Fuck, man, no, I can't do it. I can send you like Shiba Inu. Which, by the way, I don't... Matt, have you seen the proof of reserves from crypto.com?
No, I haven't.
Well, let me just go. So right now, what's happening, now that everything has fallen apart.
Well, you pull that up. Well, you pull that up. I just realized for people who might be listening and don't know what's going on, I should say that we are talking we are talking Friday, November 11th. And earlier this morning, FTX sent out a press release to announce that they were filing for bankruptcy. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, Alameda Research, and all their affiliate companies, also resigned as CEO. The guy who has come in to replace him is the cleanup guy from when Enron when Enron collapsed.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yes. Woo! I'm gonna break this football out of here. I'm gonna fucking spike it. I am hot. I am absolutely wilding out. This is the best news.
You didn't see that? Yeah, his name's John J. Ray III.
Damn, that is the most clean-up guy. I just watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia yesterday, the Warthog episode where Danny DeVito has to come in to shut down a company, and I'm imagining that. I gotta shut down FTX. Fire everyone. Stop fucking each other.
Oh man, yeah. Oh wow.
The Warthog.
Right, but one thing that was really interesting to me, and like this obviously at this point should be no surprise, but even as this FTX and Alameda fallout was happening, and even when Sam Bankman-Fried could no longer even deny it was happening, he's out there constantly in all of his apologies and everything up until Friday. He's out there going, listen, this does not pertain to FTX US. That's the US version of the FTX exchange, because due to regulations and such, there's different. They have to set it up differently. And he's like, FTX US is fine. Do not worry about it. This is not included in the FTX, the broader global FTX and the Alameda goings on. And then today, when the bankruptcy hits, FTX US is included in the bankruptcy. And
I believe they've halted withdrawals now.
Yeah.
Which is so dope. I love it. I'm just going to go ahead and put FTX US into Google News. FTX US temporarily froze crypto withdrawals, adding to the chaos of bankruptcy proceedings. Right. Yeah, no surprise. If you were wondering if that is good, the answer is no.
Right, because it means no one could take their money out. And what you said too about, I didn't really pay it much mind until you said it just now. That a lot of that $6 billion moving around was probably people shorting FTT. And I think we should make it clear to people that that's almost definitely the case, because if you look at every other instance where this happens, it's not like retail investors hear this news happening and they go, oh, let me pull out whatever, the couple $1,000 I have. They're usually the ones online going, oh, thanks for the update, SBF. I trust you. I'm keeping my money there.
So cute.
Stop spreading FUD, everybody. Stop spreading FUD. Everything's fine. So without a doubt, it's the insiders who knew, oh, shit's going to go up, belly up. Here we go.
Insiders or just people who had massive amounts of margin. Because middle of last year, Sam Bankman-Fried had to, along with Binance, actually, they both did it at the same time. They reduced the margin they offered from 100x to only 20x. However, from what I understand, he grandfathered people in. So you were still probably had tons of people who had 100x margin who probably just went, fuck it. I'm going to bet against this token, considering CZ is sell it. And I think that there's a lot of war game shit where people are saying, oh, this is all part of CZ's plan. I don't think so. I actually think what CZ thought would happen was SBF would kind of fold and then he'd see the due diligence and there'd be like $1 billion hole. And he'd be like, okay, I can plug that shit. I'm going to own all of crypto now. Easy money. Except $5 to $6 billion, which should not be an issue, CZ. Let's be honest. But also, there's no reason he should have bought it anyway. Why would you buy $5 billion of debt?
Right.
Who are you? Elon Musk?
Well,
Anyway, sorry.
I was too busy looking up this stat that I missed that. I mean, we're going to bring up Elon Musk in a minute because between SBF and Elon Musk, I've been going crazy this week. And it's amazing. He enters this story a little bit too. He's not directly involved as far as we know, but there's a little bit of Musk involved here.
I hope so. I will have a sexually induced headache if Elon Musk is somehow tangled up in FTX. I will my dick will fly off into the sky and explode like a SpaceX rocket.
I don't have that breaking news, but to not get your hopes up that it's something crazy like that, what I'm going to be bringing up a little bit later is how people were trying to get SBF involved, according to the Twitter deal, which, again, nothing breaking.
That would have been so fucking funny. Oh my God, we got let down so badly there.
Right. But, we have to bring it up a little bit later because this is the best time to bring that up. Two of these worlds colliding.
Funny, though.
Right.
It would have been so good. Well, how fucking funny would that be?
I mean, Musk would have been losing money, both sides of his.
What would have been the best is if, the Twitter deal had, slowed down, and he needed the money from SBF, and then SBF went under, and then the Twitter deal fell apart. That would have been the funniest way this could have ended. Sadly not.
Or if Elon took SBF's investment in FTT token.
That would have been so good. Elon was like, I have no money anymore. I do not have money because I put everything in Shiba Inu tokens and FTT. And I will be giving 50% of revenue to YouTube stars to join Twitter now.
That is a really good Elon Musk. I am.
It's somewhere between Dracula and just a regular American.
But I think that's Musk.
Before I forget, we need to talk about Crypto.com because the thing that's now happening, which is so fucking funny, is all of the exchanges going, yeah, how legit we are. Let's show you our reserves. Let's show you all the money we got lying around. To be clear, not the same as a bank account.
Right.
Not the same as showing real money. Binance did it. Binance, half of their money may just be their US dollar. And 40% of it is BUSD, which is allegedly run by Paxos, is allegedly legit. So maybe that's legit. But a good amount is in BNB. And also, to be clear, none of this is in a real bank account. So I don't care. But Crypto.com did a preliminary audit of their funds. And let me just read to you the percentage of their reserves. And to be clear, Crypto.com Arena is where LeBron James plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. So their allocation, BTC, 30.76%. Shiba Inu token, 19.68%. And that is $558 million of Shiba Inu. Ethereum, 17.19%, which is, by the way, lower than their allocation of Shiba Inu. USDC, 6.98%. USDT, 5%. And, of course, my favorite, Other, 20.
Oh, that's the...
Thank you.
What was the other at? I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Oh, doesn't. How much is the other at?
20.15%. So to be clear, they have more Shiba Inu tokens than they do US dollars.
Other is probably just a bunch of random shit coins, honestly. I mean, that's what is. Yeah.
There's like 15 million of a token that can never be sold.
Right.
Like if you sell it, the entire market crashes 1 second.
Other exchanges are doing the same exact thing. I saw KuCoin drop the same thing with the same exact sort of, breakup of, with the other two. And they even, at least they put, I saw in theirs, in little parentheses under other, it was just like, this accounts for other random cryptocurrency tokens. It's going to be bad. I think people need to understand that this is just like, remember Terra Luna causing the crash earlier it was May of this year. And then that had reverberations that went to, Celsius and Voyager just a month later. And that caused an even further crash. This is going to just extend that, make the hole even wider than before. This is the fourth largest cryptocurrency. I believe it's actually the third largest by volume, FTX.
It was the second largest by volume behind Binance.
Okay, second largest then. Fourth largest overall. And it just went under. I mean, this is the other day, Bitcoin dropped below $16,000. It was like at 15,800 I saw. That basically means that if anyone bought Bitcoin after like the pandemic started in 2020, if anyone bought then, they are negative money. Like,
if you bought during the Super Bowl, you've lost your money.
You're never getting it back, right? That's like, yeah, that's. If you heard Larry David in the FTX commercial,
so fucking funny.
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
If you invested after just seeing the Larry David FTX commercial, I mean, you could just write off your losses.
You know that there was some. You have to admit, Larry David probably saved like millions of people, though, because there's some people who went, "Yeah, I'm not into it either."
Right. Because the Larry David commercial is Larry David playing him saying, "Yeah, I don't think so. It's not going to be the next big thing. It's not going to be the next big thing."
What's great is they probably asked him, "Why do you say that?" He's like, "Oh, I don't. I said I'd do the commercial. I didn't say like." But okay, I want to read.
You know what? No, I bet I would guarantee. I mean, obviously, but as you know, FTX totally. But FTX totally wrote it like that because, like, it's a Larry David type thing to say, and of course, we're going to prove everybody wrong.
And they did. No. So I'm just going to read off of FTX.com right now what it says. FTX is currently unable to process withdrawals. We strongly advise against depositing. Why would you still let them? Why is that still on the website? I want to meet the person who's still like, well, I'm going to give it a go. Buy low, sell high. I'll put my money in FTX, bitch. But also, what's on here is percentage of reported crypto volume that is fake, 35%. See our investigation into the legitimacy of reported cryptocurrency exchange volume. I think this fucking right. I love this because we are so not even close to how fucked this is. We're only at like 4 or 5 hours capital. I expect us to be at 10 or 11 hours capital by the end of the year. It's like Mark Wood. 5 hours capital. What about 6 hours capital?
Right, yeah.
Except this time an American man blinded an Asian. An Asian man blinded an American. Unlike with Mark Wahlberg, different Mark there. Sorry, I've been making a joke about Mark Wahlberg.
It's all right. It's worth making.
Man.
Right. I was bringing up. Let me bring up this thing before because the Wall Street Journal, just yesterday, I believe it was, reported that Alameda, which was again the hedge fund, the trading firm that SBF ran. along with the crypto exchange FTX. Basically, what was going on was Alameda owed $10 billion to FTX for loans that were funded by deposits from FTX's customers. And because Alameda was basically insolvent holding these FTT tokens, which again were just being propped up by FTX and really not worth much, then, they did not have on the book, like their books were completely fudged. They did not have what they claimed to have. Basically, they could never repay those loans.
But that's because SBF claims that he didn't understand how much margin his customers were taking. Which is so funny.
I don't believe that.
No, here's the thing. Okay, hear me out. Here's why I believe it. First of all, I think it's Hannon's razor. Never attribute to malice that which can be attributed to ignorance. I don't really care. I am more likely to believe that this guy was like a sloppy little worm who was constantly in and out of people's holes. Talking of big holes that were held up in Bahamas. And he was off being his gross little shit while being wildly rich, trying to become a trillionaire on paper. I think he got wrapped up in it and just didn't think it would ever fuck up. I think that's so much more likely than him being like, oh, yeah, I've got them now. If you go and read, there is a piece in the Generalist, a long fucking profile of SBF, and it talks about how he's the prince of risk. His original way he got rich was he was doing arbitrage between the US and the Japanese, I think, markets where there was sometimes like a 30% premium, and he made like 100 million doing that, which sounds stinky in and of itself. And then he decided he wanted to create FTX as a means of plugging a hole in the market, again, holes. And he did that, and what I think his goal was he wanted more liquidity to do more of his Bitcoin hedging. He made FTX. It worked. And he made a bit of money off of FTX. And he went, this market is going so well, even in a bear market, that I can just fucking dip in here. No one will miss it. I don't have a board of directors. I don't need to fucking do shit. They had a law firm that just was extremely aggressive with people joining the platform. They take 0.5% of all of your tokens to work with FTX. Extremely aggressive finances there. And I think it was working until it wasn't. But also, I would fully believe that this guy had just built so many little shit piles that he was just lost track of them. Right. Rich people get fucked like this all the time. They just over leverage. And you may think, well, this is so much more money. If it was 1 billion or 10 billion, it's mostly the same amount of fuckery. It's mostly the same amount of dicking around. It's still computer money. It's still not real. So I'd fully believe this. And frankly, people kept sending him money. Right. He's like Bernie Madoff, except honest to God, Bernie Madoff. Oh, I think him and Bernie Madoff basically did the same thing, which was they seemed legitimate enough. It's just that FBF was younger. And that's especially why I believe that the whole thing was just him being stupid, because there weren't that many people who worked at FTX. And by the looks of it, based on the reports, not many people knew about how fucked the assets were, which means he probably just hid it from the beginning. I think he fucking rocks. He's such a scumbag, but also probably going to end up face down in a bathtub one day.
I don't think he was maniacally laughing while doing this, but I think this is a guy who saw the opportunity to pull off what he was doing, and he saw that he wasn't getting caught, and he just continued to roll with it. I don't believe the idea that he sat down as this all started happening, this past week, and was like, "Oh shucks, my math was wrong."
He probably knew that for a while.
Yes, that's clear. What I'm saying. Yeah.
I think it's
and
true,
continue to perpetuate this. Yeah.
I don't think he was just sitting on his phone Hey, Sam. Yeah, what? How many zeros are after a billion? Is it 6? No.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I was in a GIMP mask. I should have asked earlier, but you couldn't hear me. Oh, also, how many zeros was in a billion was also the safe phrase for me and the other GIMP. I don't really know about sexual proclivities. I don't really do sex anymore. Being purely no fap and no sex guy is how I cover crypto, clearly. But also, to be clear, I was talking to someone about this the other day. Sam Bankman-Fried was a sexual being.
Also,
Really did not want to think about it.
you
Crypto Weird Al is not a thing I want to combine with sex.
Crypto Weird. That is, but I think that's mean to Weird Al, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's an insult to the legitimate businessman and generally pleasant fellow, it seems, Weird Al.
Right. But you know what I love? You know what I absolutely love? You bring up, the 10 people in this little polycule network. The CEO of Alameda Research, who I guess you can really say, along with Sam Bankman-Fried, would have, after him would probably have the most knowledge of what was going on. She apparently was, constantly, she's part of this little 10-person circle. And, it's hilarious that, I again, not knocking anyone, but she looks like Velma from Scooby-Doo. She has like Velma from Scooby-Doo vibes. Like literally this all like the Crypto Weird Al and Velma from Scooby-Doo. Just
okay, I
just took down this whole big company.
I would care how it looked. The only way that I would care how they looked is if all of them were like super jacked. If they all just fucking sit on,
right,
crypto, like just fucking like pumped up all the time, just fucking like on a bunch of pre-workout all the time, and that's why they fucked up. Like, oh shit, we got so much leverage, man. Fuck yeah, just complete. But no, they were like boring nerds. Like, of course. But honestly, is that less or more funny than like the regular just cocaine finance guys? I think it's funnier. I don't care how they look, but I love that they're just a bunch of weird dorks who kind of hated each other, slipping and sliding and just like destroying an entire market. And I also love, as I previously said, that the rest of the crypto industry is now going to trip on their dicks trying to prove how legit they are. And at least one of them is going to go down in the process. I think crypto.com is in the running. Just the Shiba Inu thing is fucking great. That's such a bad sign. No one, that is, I think they have like 10% of the entire market capitalization of Shiba Inu in their possession.
Jeez. Well, it seems
if
like
Shiba Inu goes down, like 20% of their reserves lose value.
It seems like that's right. It all depends on Shiba Inu for them, yeah. But it seems like a good tell is, did this crypto company sponsor a major league sports team or anything like that? Look at Celsius, look at Voyager, look at crypto.com maybe in the near future. And of course, as we were talking right before we went live, right before we started recording, FTX had their logo all over every umpire in Major League Baseball?
Every single umpire. They have the FTX Arena, now known as the Chapter 11 Bankruptcy Arena of the Miami Heat. Just running through all my tweets here, just all my jokes, just in case. But it's, yeah, they put all this money, and it's so good because I have to ask, how much of that money was delivered in US dollars? How much of Tom Brady's compensation was in FTT tokens? We will probably never know.
Oh, that is one of the greatest press release headlines ever for multiple reasons. Because it said, what does it say? Oh, I got to pull it up. It's so funny. Yeah. You have it? You have it in front of you?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, hold on one second. Let me pull this up because it is hilarious. The press release headline. Oh my God, where is it? Come on. Give me 1 second. Okay. FTX, Tom Brady, and Gisele Bündchen announces long-term partnership. I mean, in every shape and form, all three of those people, and this was back in June of 2021, just about 16 months ago. There's not a single relationship between any of those three parties now. No partnership at all between any three of them.
Well, there definitely isn't anymore, considering Tom Brady got divorced.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
Even the Tom Brady and Giselle long-term partnership didn't last.
Man, the divorce proceedings are going to get... Well, they've actually already become divorced, so I don't think it really matters.
All right. Well, I was looking. Did you know that like about a month and a half ago, Sam Bankman-Fried was on the morning talk show circuit and sat down on Meet the Press to talk with what's his face about how he was funding all these mostly Democratic campaigns. And and then there's this. I gotta play it actually. Let me share this clip with you because let me play. This is CNBC. They did a 30-minute long little documentary on SBF. I'm not gonna play you that, but because then that'd be ridiculous. But they did like a little 5-minute like during like the news hour type deal, a little like sneak peek into it, and to see the two CNBC anchors and reporters talk about SBF this way now, it's simply, unbelievable.
Let's talk about what's going on with Sam Bankman-Fried. In just the past 5 years, Sam Bankman-Fried went from buying his first Bitcoin to becoming a multi-billionaire. The FTX founder is now worth an estimated $11 billion. He could have bought that Jordan jersey if he wanted to. His exchange is now worth $32 billion, and it brought in about $1 billion in revenue just last year. CNBC's Kate Rooney has more on the CEO's rise to the top of the crypto industry. They call him the JP Morgan of crypto, right?
Yeah, the Michael Jordan of crypto, if you will.
Even the headline, FTX still has $1 billion to deploy. This is mid-September.
The white knight of crypto. Here's the thing. That clip was wonderful, but also, to the credit of CNBC, I believe that everyone in the media who got fooled by Sam Bankman-Fried, how were they meant to see this guy? Like, it was a full Emperor's New Clothes, like probably the largest we're going to see. There was so much legitimate money in there that it was almost unthinkable to believe that he would just be stealing. And the biggest thing that I think that people missed, including myself, I could have called him out earlier, but he was incorporated in the Bahamas. That is, when you are incorporated where Pirates of the Caribbean happened, maybe you don't trust that guy with so much money. On top of it, the moment I read that generalist piece, I'm like, where did this motherfucker's money come from? Like, you made like there's something weird about the original story, because all these crypto guys, for the most part, have the same weird story that they're like a lot of them are just, he bought Bitcoin because he could afford to, and when it was $1. Like Tim Draper. Tim Draper bought like 100,000 Bitcoin for like $500 each, and because he was already quite rich, he didn't have to sell until it was worth more. Same with the Riverboat twins, the Winklevosses. They got rich, but Sam Bankman-Fried just was like trading arbitrage, which kind of makes sense. And he used to work at Jane Street. It's just like he filled a gap. He realized that, I don't think he is a full mastermind, but I think he's got a level of just, he realized to fill a gap. He was like, okay, people are scared of crypto. People are scared of this, so I will be the adult in the room. But also, people fucking love it. They adore it when someone is like, oh, I don't like crime. Despite doing like a lot of it, he was just like, he was exactly what people wanted. They wanted a little rodent-looking fella who made them feel safe. I'm deadly serious. The other champions in the industry, the Winklevosses, are terrifying. They're like 7 foot tall. They talk at the same time. They share the same sentences. They just run off each other. It's terrifying. CZ is just like, you got no fucking idea what CZ's doing. You got no idea where CZ's money is coming from. Brian Armstrong looks like Moby. He is this kind of weird libertarian guy, and he looks and acts very strange. And I actually believe he's just a weird coder who he's like, I have more money now. I will go back to eating this exact macronutrient dump of brown rice and chicken. I experience joy. Only money. Like, he's not approachable. You have this weird little nerd guy who looks like kind of innocent, but also fuck you over, right? He's too busy with numbers. He looked and resembled the kind of guy a Clinkle?
No.
There are payments.
Oh,
Right. Who
that
got
does
like
sound familiar.
tens of million product that never existed and did not work. It's kind of like Lucas the Plan, who was like a cute little nerd, kind of like a little leprechaun-looking guy. And like sometimes you want a guy to look in a certain way to relax you. Sam Bankman-Fried, oh, he's just a dorky little kid. Look, he just wears t-shirts. Ooh, that guy wouldn't steal $10 billion. Really, really. I'm deadly serious. I think this worked. And look at that CNBC thing you shared. When was that from? How old?
That was just from mid-September.
So that's the thing. That video, which I'm sure you'll share, is really indicative of what they wanted, because they went and he's like kind of like sleeps on a love sack and he's like a weird looking hair guy, and it's like, okay, this guy's trustworthy because he clearly doesn't take care of himself. I'm not trying to insult his appearance. I'm just like, he isn't like a finance guy. He isn't like a clean-cut shark who like is taking it. He doesn't show off his wealth. He's not an outwardly like
he gives off like
guy.
Mark Zuckerberg, like the Mark Zuckerberg of crypto type vibes. Like
Yeah.
early, like late, like mid 2000s when you saw the startup guy in like the hoodie and the messed up, shaggy hair, and then all of a sudden you're seeing them become the CEOs of these big companies and social media, and all of a sudden this is like the caricature of the cool tech, multi-millionaire. This is just like the extension of that for the crypto world.
Yeah. And I actually think he just is a child. I'm 36 now. I was fucking stupid when I was 30. I made a lot of mistakes around my 30s, but specifically around 30. And I just can imagine that he was just like, I think probably like 6 months ago, he was like, because was it back in September, there was a large transaction from FTX, which he referred to as like rotating wallets. He's like, yeah, it's $4 billion, it's not a big deal. And that was Alameda just yoinking $4 billion. I think then was when he worked it out. He was like, maybe no one will notice. Maybe no one will notice. And then when he did, I don't even remember what it was with the stable coin thing that pissed off CZ, but CZ's probably known the whole time. I'm sure CZ's probably done something similar, but he's better at it. And also he can move a lot more money a lot faster. Just he's better capitalized and smarter than SBF. But SBF, honestly, this whole time, SBF has basically sold himself as, what if CZ was white and also legally could enter the US? It turns out that second part is going to be what really fucks Sam over. By fucking with FTX US, he is now fucked with American consumers, which means, oh my God, the government's going to fuck him up. The government is going.
Oh, did you see the CoinDesk report from yesterday? According to a CoinDesk source, the U.S. Department of Justice, as well as U.S. regulators and European regulators, have reached out to Binance, and they are very interested in knowing what Binance saw in that due diligence investigation that made them say, we're not acquiring FTX.
Now, the real question is, will Binance actually help them?
I mean, they would.
I do not believe they will.
I feel like unless there's something in there that's going to entangle them.
I feel like they do not want to talk to the American justice system due to what I imagine is a lot of bad stuff they're doing themselves. That being said, you are right. If they just feel like fucking Sam Bankman-Fried over, but the truth is, I'm sure there's something in that due diligence package that has much wider implications than just FTX. Because think about it, FTX owes money to and is owed money from other people.
Right.
Do you really think none of those people, you think we know who, no, God, no. I guarantee you, there's so much weirder shit to come. And I said on August 9th, get your money out of FTX. I legitimately think it's time to get your money out of crypto, all told.
Oh, it's been I could have said, you're right. You're absolutely right. But people should have, this should be
this is like a frat party where they're like, all right, everyone, out we go. They flick the lights on and off. That's what they should be doing. There you go. Took a minute to do that. Now I've turned all my lights off. Fuck me. There we go. Kind of. Jesus Christ. You try and do a joke, it doesn't work. But
No, it was.
anywho, it's pretty funny. We'll move on.
It's all right.
But for real, my big thing is there are a few thoughts I've had for a while that really concern me here. Circle and USDC, I'm very bothered about. I know USDT is bad, but USDT still hasn't quite fallen apart. I think we've got a little bit of time. I really have concerns about Circle. I've written about it before. I feel like they are well capitalized, but the thing is, just having the coins and the money is one thing. But what if they run out of money? What if Circle runs out of money? The reason that all of these companies, including Binance, doing proof of reserves is only half the battle. And quote, props to Jacob Silverman who explained this to me. But showing proof of reserves is nothing if you can't show a bank account. If you're not showing how much money you have outside of the crypto, you're not telling us anything. Because guess fucking what? If you don't have any money and you have the crypto, what the fuck does it matter? You're going to be out of money. The banks have run out of money. And I think, and I will say, and I have a constant argument with my mate Casey about this, I think Coinbase is actually legit. I think Brian Armstrong is probably the only one who is fully aware of how fucked you would be if you actually did the amount of fraud. I think Brian Armstrong got rich the boring way. I think he just was early and rich, and then he rode that crash. Sorry, he rode the bull run really hard, got $1 billion, and now it's just I'm going to go to Washington 7 years late.
Wow. Yeah, I think I also want to add the addendum though that doesn't necessarily mean you should just transfer your money to Coinbase. I think you should transfer your money to real US dollars. Yes, and put it in the bank. Yeah.
Like an actual bank.
An actual bank. Yeah. Support your local credit union.
We're now going to enter into the proof of reserves wars, where everyone tries to pretend they're legitimate. And they're going to be like, look, we got all your money, it's fine. And to be clear, they are saying, we've got your money, without really telling anyone what your or money means. They're just like, we have $3 billion. No one actually knows how much they should have. We don't know if Binance claims to have 70-something billion dollars of reserves. We don't know if they have 150 billion of people's stuff. We have no idea. The only person who knows how much money Binance has, or money, how much cryptocurrency is on Binance, is fucking Binance. Yeah, you can say, oh, this is the money, the volume. I'm talking the actual deposits by users. So you know what? Your proof of reserves is just we got something. Also, proof of reserves doesn't speak to the amount of margin you've given your fucking customers. It's just, and now I think we're going to see, there is something, I refuse to believe we're done with bad shit here. If 3 Arrows Capital caused all of this to happen, FTX is several arrows larger. I think we're going to see another exchange die. The question is, which one?
Which one? Right.
Which one? I'm not even going to say the names because one of them, a specific exchange that I would never name or insinuate in any way, legitimately has a slush fund to sue people. So I'm just going to avoid that one. Fucking crazy.
What does it rhyme with?
Poo poo. Poo coin.
Oh, right. I think I might have allegedly mentioned them earlier. Right.
Yeah, but obviously we weren't accusing them of anything in any first
No. Just how we just described exactly how they displayed their holdings and such, the same way that Crypto.com did. Right. Yes, that's all we're saying.
Please don't sue me. I'm so tired. But I will say this has been the most exhausting week of news. I have not written this much in months, and it has been fucking hilarious but exhausting. Just every moment, Elon Musk is like, I'm going to ban advertisers from social media. I don't want to. I want dollars per tweet. He's so funny. We need Elon Musk, man.
Oh, let's pull this up. I did pull. I went through his private text messages that were released as part of the the Twitter lawsuit that never was because, he was forced to buy the company before they needed to go to court. And I'm looking through it because I remember when they first dropped and I was covering them. I remember seeing Sam Bankman-Fried's name came up. And I was like, right. This is really weird that, this crypto guy who, does he know Musk? And it turns out they didn't know each other. But what's really interesting is that two different people, a Morgan Stanley banker named Michael Grimes, and then a philosophy professor who apparently is, or was, I don't know if he still is, SBF's guru, Will McCaskill.
Yes. He is a guru? Fuck yes. God damn, I gotta Google this man now. So Will McCaskill in March 29th, 2022, he texts Elon Musk and says, "Hey, I saw your poll on Twitter about Twitter and free speech. I'm not sure if this is what's on your mind, but my collaborator, Sam Bankman-Fried," and he links to Sam Bankman-Fried's Forbes profile, has for a while been potentially interested in purchasing it and then making it better for the world. If you want to talk with him about a possible joint effort in that direction, and he gives his number. And Elon replies, "Does he have huge amounts of money?" And McCaskill then says, "Depends on how you define huge. He's worth $24 billion, and his early employees with shared values bumped that to $30 billion. I asked about how much he could in principle contribute, and he said, 1 to 3 billion would be easy. 3 to 8 billion I could do. 8 to 15 billion is maybe possible, but would require financing." And so Will McCaskill continues, he's based in the Bahamas normally, might visit Austin next week. Elon Musk, to his credit, is actually in these texts, sounds kind of hesitant. He's like, "You vouch for him?" Will McCaskill says, "Very much so." And so time goes by. We're now, a few days go by, April 1st, and he's trying to set things up between Sam Bankman-Fried and Elon. Sam Bankman-Fried tweets after getting Elon's number. Elon says, "Send him my number. It's fine." SBF says, "Great to meet you, Elon. Happy to chat about Twitter or other things whenever." Elon replies, "Hi. Maybe we can talk later today. I'm in Germany." Sam Bankman-Fried replies, but then that's the last text that at least is in this compilation that was released between Elon and SBF. Now, the final text, I believe, was texting him May 5th saying, "Sorry, who is sending this message?" Which is very funny. It's one of the only funny things that Elon Musk
I missed that one. So
I just was looking it up in real time, baby.
In May, you're saying in May, SBF gets back to Elon saying,
Elon Musk texted Sam Bankman-Fried. He says, "Musk texted Bankman-Fried, sorry, who is sending this message?"
And who says who is sending this message?
Yeah, just I guess Sam Bankman-Fried texted him and was like, "You up?" I don't know. It'd be funny if Elon Musk sent him his hug. Oh, sorry.
Well,
but I like this William McCaskill guy. This William McCaskill guy rocks. Let's check out some of his books. So, Doing Good Better, that would be his book. William McCaskill is an associate philosophy and research fellow at the Global Priorities Institute at the University of Oxford. Who the fuck is this guy? Who is this? Who are these people? How do I get involved in this shit? $1 billion? I'm smarter than ever. I'm pretty fucking stupid, but I could do this better. It's easy. Knock this shit out in 2 seconds.
Right. So it comes up. It comes up again with this Morgan. I just want to bring this up because it's so funny.
Yeah.
This Morgan Stanley banker, Michael Grimes, I guess another Grimes in Elon Musk's life, contacts Elon a month later, April 25th, 2022, trying to push the SBF thing again. This is someone separate. So Sam Bankman-Fried is in these people's ears being like, "I want in on this. I want in on this." Because why would they? Yeah. So he contacts And he goes, Sam Bankman-Fried is why I am calling. And Elon Musk just sends question marks and says, I'm backlogged with a mountain of critical work matters. Is this urgent? And Michael Grimes says, wants 1.5 billion, serious about partnership with you. And then Michael Grimes says, could do 5 billion if everything vision locked. This might have been the thing that sullied the deal for SBF to Elon, but Michael Grimes says about SBF, major Democratic donor. Anyway, Elon then replies that so long as talking with SBF or meeting with him, Elon says, so long as I don't have to have a laborious blockchain debate. And then, but again, Elon Musk.
This is a big dub for Elon.
Right. And then Elon says to Michael Grimes, the last text that I've seen to Michael Grimes is, does Sam actually have 3 billion liquid? I mean, again, credit to Musk here. I hate to say it. But then Michael Grimes says, I think Sam has it. Yes, he actually said up to 10 billion at one point. But in writing, he said up to 5.
Delightful. I'm sorry, Matt, though. I have to go. I just found a podcast I'm going to listen to. It's from the Unchained podcast. It's called Sam Bankman-Fried on How to Prevent the Next Terror in 3AC. Here are some of the highlights. Why Sam thinks regulation could have a significant impact on the crypto industry. The impact of the Terra collapse, Sam's thoughts on stablecoins, and the importance of disclaimers. What the industry could do to prevent high leverage from crypto companies like Three Arrows Capital. What Sam thinks about building a centralized entity in decentralized space, what it would take for FTX to move back to the United States. I cannot wait to not listen to this because I'm not going to. I can't listen to a fucking crypto podcast. Ironically, I will say this is from Unchained, and Laura Shin's good, but didn't she also interview Do Kwon?
It wouldn't surprise me. Listen, even
so
like,
good. No, yeah,
all these crypto outlets, like, listen, credit to them when they, like, for example, CoinDesk, credit to them for, basically
CoinDesk fucking
helping
this. They actually,
right. But at the end of the day, the problem with so many of them is they still spin positive news about the industry when, frankly, there's nothing positive about it. I mean, there's no reason to give SBF or Do Kwon or any of these guys time to talk with them about the future of the crypto industry or what trends are happening on the blockchain unless you're going to try to nail down some legit numbers and information from them. It's pointless to get these interviews and just talk about these hypothetical visionary futurist type perspectives. Who cares? These guys are affecting real people right now who have their money that they can't afford to lose invested in their stable coins, their cryptocurrency exchanges, their crypto lending firms. And so, like, frankly, enough with the crap. It's time for these outlets to get serious about covering this shit, honestly. And kudos to CoinDesk for doing that here.
But it's also a different way of covering technology because previously you really didn't have to do this shit because you just didn't believe that someone would do this. No other industry did this. Like the finance industry did this with Bernie Madoff, and at that point, after making it so that consumers basically didn't have access to credit at anywhere near the rate they ever would and just crushed the millennial generation, the Gen Z generation, giving them no access to wealth generation. Thank you so much, Bear Stearns et al. Other than that, people were like, okay, a startup wouldn't just fucking make up everything, right? Well, okay, so Theranos happened. Okay, well,
it even goes before that though. Like, I really feel like the lesson in the tech industry
was
learned.
What I'm getting at though is usually someone wouldn't just take a bunch of money and then use it to speculate. And I don't know. I think people just are like, they were like, well, the number's going up, so it's fine. Like, that's it. Like, I stopped really. I have like here and there worked with crypto companies, but I really stopped around 2017 because I just was like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I was honestly I was like, I feel too stupid for this. You all seem to know what's going on. I don't like it. And I could have probably made a good amount of money. Probably a hell of a lot of money, honestly. But it was just like, I was just too confused. I was like, I don't fucking know. You all seem really excited. I guess it's because you're rich. I don't fucking get it. Why are you giving money to like guys in like Uzbekistan to make a token that can only be sold in Indonesia? Why are you doing that? I think the thing that really broke me was like maybe beginning of 2018. I had a phone call with a guy who sounded exactly like Donald Trump. It's like, listen to me, I'm not even going to try the impression. I'm going to pay you $60,000 a month in our token. And I just was like, no, you're not. He's like, well, I'm like, you're not though. I'm like, I'll take real money. If you want to give me the token, I just don't believe it'll be worth anything. It's worth $300. $300 fucking dollars. I don't know where that token is just gone now. I'm never going to name it. But it's like, this shit's been corrupt for a while, and no one has had a good explanation other than the DeFi guys who at least have a product of sorts. But they have something that approximates and it's just like financial arbitrage. It's just another financial system. It's an abstraction. But the DeFi guys are all like, well, we're the trustworthy ones, so you can see what's actually happening. It's like, kind of, but not really. Unless the DeFi guys found a way to put their bank account on the blockchain. Without the bank account, I can't fully trust you. I don't give a shit if you've got a bazillion USDC. I just can't. The fact it's tokenized means it isn't a dollar. And I think even Elon Musk was scared of that shit. Because notice, he hasn't used it. If he was a big crypto guy, he would have found his crypto and invested it here, right? He would have used it to buy Twitter. He would have brought SBF in. Oh, wait, he brought in fucking Binance. Binance had like $500 million. I love that Binance was only the second most dodgy behind the Saudis as far as like just dirty money, just covered in blood. I think the Binance money, less blood, more other substances, really. More just dirt. But it's just, I feel like we're in the apex of billionaires who just being revealed to have their dick and balls out the entire time. Full scale. Mark Zuckerberg, the metaverse doesn't work. It's a fucking stupid idea. He's lost. He's not having fun anymore. He doesn't know. He never enjoyed a single thing. He enjoys more things than Elon Musk. He enjoys getting on a hoverboard with his fucking juicy arse out. His big Mark Zuckerberg's got a dump truck on him. Whoa! Well, I would cancel Mark Zuckerberg, but where you going, honey? Woo!
It's incredible.
Fucking catcall Mark Zuckerberg.
He announced 11,000 people are going to get laid off this week. But because of FTX and Elon Musk with Twitter, 11,000 layoffs just swept under the rug and no one's talking about it.
Honestly, he waited. He was like, the perfect moment will arise. Yes. Activate. Fire them all. But actually, it seems like he's doing quite well by them. He's actually given a decent amount of severance. But nevertheless, what I love is the main reason that's happening is the $15 billion you spent on VR stuff. And he's not even the dumbest one of the dumb billionaires. Elon Musk is just like, I don't understand what's going on. Elon Musk has so much money. Mark Zuckerberg at least has bought like a quarter of Hawaii. He's a fucking piece of shit, but like at least he seems to enjoy something. Elon Musk is just like sitting online like, why don't they like it? I don't understand why they are so angry at me. What if I respond with the cry laughing emoji? No, that made it worse. Why is someone pretending to be Mr. Bean and offering to lick my asshole? What? That's not Mr. Bean. No. Like Elon Musk is just he is having no fun. He doesn't enjoy anything because if you have $100 billion, you can do anything. There are very few human experiences that you are cut off from with that much money, and a few of them that are like extra human. That's why Jack Dorsey was in like a sweat lodge. He was trying to transcend reality. But Elon Musk, instead of enjoying having billions of dollars, is sitting there on a website he has probably financially ruined himself with, being just like, imagine this. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, fuck, okay. Have a glass of water, you pick up your phone, and you go on the news, and every single article is just, you are a big fat dipshit. You're like, oh, Yep. Okay. CNN dipshit runs website. Okay. Okay. I'll go check Twitter. And your mentions are just people being like, Elon Musk, you're the biggest dipshit in the world. Every moment of his life is pain, despite him having enough money to experience any joy he'd like. He could be like a pansexual god. You think Sam fucking Bankman-Fried had a polycule? Elon Musk could have like a fucking poly-universe. Elon Musk could have the single most weird sex, and he could do it anywhere he wants on a plane. Doesn't he have a plane with like a spa on it? Someone was telling me that. And no, he chooses to sit on a forum he purchased where the main subject is how much of a dickhead he is. It is the funniest fucking thing ever. And also, we're finally seeing that Elon Musk is not a great CEO. He's terrible at this. He's not that smart. Sam Bankman-Fried, not that smart. Mark Zuckerberg, smart. Not smart enough. But not emotionally smart. That's for certain. And the best thing is, we're not done. I'm sure there's another very stupid idiot here. CZ could go down, but I think CZ's smart enough he's actually way smart enough to like keep out of America, and CZ probably has a bunch of money saved. That's what he don't actually putting that aside. That's the thing I don't get with Sam Bankman-Fried. Why would you not just get a bunch of cash? Just in case. Just get you're worth 24 billion. Get $1 billion cash.
Do we think he doesn't, though? I mean, he's in the Bahamas. No. We don't know exactly. No, you don't think so?
He's going to get fucked. I, legitimately fear for that man's life. My man, you live in the Bahamas. You don't think someone's going to fucking 86 you for destroying a financial system? You don't think that someone lost a lot of money because of you? Someone who literally operates in an unregulated financial system couldn't wire some money using the unregulated financial system to have someone put you in a boat and blow it up like a death cult.
You don't think he's going to
make it look like an accident?
You don't think he's going to you don't think he's going to disappear like Do Kwon?
I think he's going to disappear like metal in the can. I think he's going to be murdered. I wish no physical harm on him. I hope he is jailed and made fun of and put in a small box where he will rot forever. I think it's more likely that, considering he is fucked with an unregulated financial system and made lots of enemies in lots of countries, I think it's more likely he disappears, or he ends up killing himself. I think someone's going to kill. I fear for the man's life. He's clearly not smart enough to not do this, and he clearly does not pick particularly good friends. I don't feel sorry for him because he's a fucking scumbag, and he deserves to be put in the fucking jails forever. He deserves to go to one of those. They need to put him in the prison from The Dark Knight Returns, where Bane lives. The Dark Knight Rises.
Right.
But actually, that reminds me of a joke I've been doing all day, where it's Elon Musk is like, I'm going to burn this website with no advertisers. Very funny. Laughing at that all day. I've been having a lot of fun. I am, just to be clear,
it is
Matt, I've nearly called you Sam 8 times as well. My brain is completely melted from this week of news. I felt myself disassociating last night, just being like, yeah, the polycule that destroyed 10 billion. Sure. My brain's going, just completely wilding out.
I feel the same exact way, but literally between FTX, between Elon Musk and Twitter, and then the midterm elections on Tuesday. It's like I was up 6 hours streaming them with other YouTubers in leftist politics, and it's like that happened ages ago when it was just a few days ago. It feels like it happened in another lifetime. That's how much has happened this week.
I love that the midterms also were not the lead story.
They were the next morning, and then all this stuff just completely avalanched on top of it. I mean,
I just think it is so funny though. It's so fucking strange. It's just so weird. This has been such a weird fucking year.
I mean, look at the timeline of how this went down. You got the late last week. You got the CoinDesk article and Mike Burgersberg's article drop. Then over the weekend, CZ with the tweet saying, Binance is going to get out of FTT after reading these reports. So he starts selling. We were talking earlier about the others started selling. $6 billion taken off FTX within 72 hours. Then Tuesday comes, and Binance announces that they're looking into acquiring FTX in order to save it. Literally less than 24 hours later, Binance comes out and says, well, we looked into it and we cannot do it. There's literally, we can't do it. We can't get involved. And then the next day you have, for me, I thought there's probably some other smaller things that happen in between, but for me, the next biggest thing that happens is that CoinDesk report about the Department of Justice wanting to know what the hell is going on here. And then today, November 11th, you have FTX announcing early in the morning that, listen, we're filing for bankruptcy. And all throughout this week, you have SBF constantly coming out and saying, look, I'm sorry, I screwed up, but here's the facts. I'm in the background, apparently, this whole week, he's calling up investors and trying to raise funds. He's in the corporate Slack channel saying, I'm going to this meeting, talking to these people, I'm trying to raise these funds. Everything's... Yeah, FTX US is okay. Don't forget, FTX US is okay. FTX US is okay. FTX US is okay. FTX US not okay. I mean, just that's the summarized version of all this, and it's insane.
To be clear, a little news just broke about an hour and 50 minutes ago. Miami Heat Arena balks at FTX naming rights ending 19-year deal early. So that is news to be on two fronts. One, the news. 19 years, huh?
I'm choking here.
Okay. I feel like I'm taking fucking drugs. I feel like I'm going insane. I'm in hell.
Why are they giving these companies 19-year deals?
I'm gonna hit the fucking vape prop again.
I bet Staples Center. How long was it Staples Center before it became Crypto.com Arena? Probably a long time. I bet they had some really long deal. Yeah. Well, Staples has been around for freaking decades. They're a company that have established that they've been in business for a while.
Hold up. Sorry. Just catching the end of this sentence here. Okay, I'm just going to read this to you. I really am feeling like the madness set in. FTX was brought to its knees after a liquidity crisis triggered a domino effect, resulting in the entire portfolio of companies, including the U.S. subsidiary FTX US and Alameda Research, its quant trading firm, declaring bankruptcy. The entire portfolio of companies is now reportedly in the red between $10 to $50 billion. 50. What? What?
You know what? You just reminded me of something. Hold on, let me pull this up. This is where it gets.
Yeah, this is where it gets weird. Like, it's not a rest. Yeah. I fucking
right. I forgot about bringing up this report, and I don't know. We were just talking. Did you know that the Ontario, like Ontario, Canada, I assume. I don't know. Ontario Teachers Fund, a pension fund for teachers, lost $95 million in FTX. What is a teacher's pension fund doing investing in this shit? Like, who is the financial advisors who wrapped them up in this? The idea that
it was me. Sorry. I did.
But like, what is going on here? Listen, it's one thing for these degenerate gamblers to be throwing money into crypto. It's another thing for pension funds for like these teachers to be thrown in the mix. Like, what are we doing here? Would you put the teachers' pension fund? Would you put it all on black at the roulette in Vegas? No, of course you wouldn't.
Well, here's the thing though. So I know what their logic is. Having known financier types, they probably had the same thing that's happened with consumers who got burned during the Super Bowl, which is they felt like this was a big opportunity to make it big, except they did so with fucking pensioners' money. And I just want to read the story from the blog, just the headline here. Alameda promised high returns with no risk in 2018 pitch. So I'm just going to say anyone who invested, if you ever read the words high returns with no risk, you are talking to a criminal. Now, if the person's like, the way we're going to do this is we're going to steal, trust them, because that is the honest truth. That's what they're doing. These loans have no downside. We guarantee full payment, the principal and interest, enforceable under U.S. law and established by all parties. The deck reads. We're extremely confident they're extremely confident and guaranteed, not the same thing. In the unlikely case where we lose more than 2% over a month, we will give all investors the opportunity to recall their funds. So I want to know who invested in Alameda Research, because that's not the same as FTX. And I also want to pour one out for my boy Frank Shapiro of the block right now, because Frank genuinely respect as a journalist, and I can tell the last week he's been talking about how down he is about this industry. I respect anyone in this industry who right now who is just like, this fucking sucks. I'm disappointed. You should be. This is a time for shame. But Frank is really honest about it all. And I feel like one right now who is still a crypto champion needs to like really reevaluate what the fuck they're doing. I understand if someone is like a cryptography person, if they're like, I'm working with computers, that makes sense. That to me makes sense, because it's like you're doing it with math. That's sure. Anyone in cryptocurrency right now, I think, really needs to reevaluate their job choice. If you are touching the actual money, I mean, the DeFi people are going nowhere, obviously. But just adding some good news, by the way, crypto lender Voyager is reopening their bidding process following FTX's bankruptcy. So, but actually, that reminds me of a question I have for you, Matt. Why would anyone buy these assets? What was the sale that SBF was making when he was going around being like, I need $5 billion? What the fuck was he offering? Oh, do you want stock in my company that sucks?
We didn't even bring up the fucking that he was, he turned into like crypto's bailout king, constantly showing up, swooping in at the last minute to save all these failing crypto companies. And, he goes out there and he's telling, I mean, I'm sure this has something to do with it, but his reason for doing so, according to him, was because, he didn't want to piss off regulators and stuff. He wanted to try to cover crypto's tracks. I'm sure there was a lot more to it than that, but I'm sure that played a role too, because that's also why he was buying up all these Democratic and some Republican politicians, because he wanted to help write crypto policy. But I mean, this is the bailout guy who couldn't even score a bailout for himself. I mean,
but what with classic bailouts, you have a path to compensation. Like, that's the thing that I'm just not getting. Why would he even think someone would bail him out?
He really thought so. He was going around trying to raise funds.
Like, but also, why would you buy? Like, also, what do you think his pitch was? Because he's like, okay, so I need $5 billion. So Binance refused to do this because they saw the books. Would you like to see the books? They suck. They're really bad.
Well, he might have made the same argument that he was, for thinking in his own head, as why he was acquiring these companies. Do it for the good of crypto. Don't, if we collapse, everything's fucked. You're fucked. You're going to lose money. The calculation, I guess, is do we lose more with FTX or without? And I'm assuming a lot of these companies made the calculation that let it fail.
But also, probably, I don't think anyone has $5 billion.
That's probably actually
I'm genuinely serious.
Reason number one, right? No, you're right.
This feels like a great time for crypto to prove they were liquid, and guess what? They're not. Like, the real question is whether they are liquid. They're not liquid to the tune of like 5 billion would be too much, or whether it's literally just like they've got theirs already and they just don't care about. And to be clear, this is $5 billion, $10 billion, $50 billion. At this point, who knows? And of that, I'd reckon at least 20% is real people's money. People who put money in during after the Super Bowl commercials. People who read Kevin Roos's Latecomer's Guide to Crypto. And I want to take a second to talk about Kevin Roos, because I really want to fucking just say this. Kevin, if you're listening to this, and I know you won't, but if this gets to you, you need to fucking apologize to everyone. You need to go out. You're fucking writing about Sam Bankman-Fried like you didn't write a 14,000 word thing that was like, yeah, look, it's full of crime, but what if it wasn't? Give it a chance. No, Kevin, no. This is why. This thing is why. The big trusted guy, the guy with the Weird Al hair that no one could possibly think was a problem, he was the fucking largest, he is the greatest financial criminal other than the banking system But in all seriousness, he's the biggest fucking criminal of them all. He is a bigger fucking criminal than Bernie Madoff. The only reason that someone tweeted this earlier, the only reason that this hasn't fucked up society more is most money in crypto is fake.
Right.
Like that's the God's honest truth. That's the only fucking reason that this hasn't had wide scale societal problems. Like this is people are saying this is the Lehman Brothers moment.
It's definitely. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, they're saying it's the Lehman Brothers moment, but I really just don't know how much money is real. I think Buckcoin told me it was like he thinks it's like 10 to 15% of it's real money, and that's fine.
Right. You're making the great point that if this much was in real actual money, you would be seeing the fallout be much greater. Like, when Enron collapsed, there was a lot of shit went down. When, Lehman Brothers.
In 2008, people were fucking killing themselves in New York.
Right.
I don't know how many news stories you had, but I heard a few fucking say maybe people were just making it up. Don't know why they would. But there were people in front of us fucking topping themselves. Oh, that means something different. But killing themselves, means killing themselves in England.
I'm sure this is sadly happening here in crypto when when Terra Luna, Celsius, Voyager, all these companies.
Yeah,
but
there are
it's
probably people who have killed.
Yeah, but it's
killed
obviously
their money went.
But it's obviously the amount of money that's pumped into this system is not translating to the equivalent number of individuals that would have been suffering losses in any other industry. Something is not adding up here.
What it is, I think, is that large amounts of this money were fake, but also I think it was large-scale whales who got fucked here, which is why I think he's in real trouble and he should be hiring lots of armed guards. I'd be living in a panic room for the rest of my fucking life. A loaded fucking Remington just sitting there like,
well, if you look at some of his latest media appearances, the dude is like shaking. Like he's clearly something's been weighing on his mind. I'm not going to make anything, any speculation beyond that, but it's clear that the dude is not the same guy and something's been going on where he's been getting stressed out or something. Because just look at him. I remember watching him in like a congressional hearing, and he looked a little bit better, well put together. And then all of a sudden, these past couple of months, maybe a year or so, all of a sudden the guy's like just giving up on like how he looks in appearances. It's very weird.
Well, he definitely would. Like, that's the thing. Very basic thing. He's not outrunning anyone, and he should be running. If I was him, I'd be getting marathon ready because I would be ready to drop whatever I'm holding and run from someone with a fucking knife at any time. I'd be terrified. People will murder you over $2,000, man.
Right.
Like, you think your ass is free? No. Honestly, I'd be serving myself to jail. I'd be like, part of my plea deal is I need to be hidden.
Polycule assemble. Maybe that's what he's got for Polycule Avengers.
Oh my God, they're probably all going to turn on each other. Oh, oh my God, the depositions are going to be so good. I hope they're depositions. Well, Sam was really into hentai. Like, there's just like weird shit that you find out. Sam liked me cracking like a dog. Like, we find out about all these proclivities and absolutely no FTX or Alameda stuff. It's just all sex stuff. I really didn't want to know. No,
it wouldn't be surprising if they were just. It wouldn't be surprising if they were just making these trades on a whim and not paying attention as they were.
Yeah, I really think that this was just a bunch of sucking and fucking dipshits in their 30s, just being like in and out of each other's holes, destroying a financial system. But because one of them was like a non-threatening kid with weird hair, the media was like, this is great. Because that's the thing. Every crypto person has been kind of annoying or kind of threatening. Brian Armstrong gives us very strange energy. He reminds me of the G-Man from Half-Life. Very ominous energy around Brian. And then the Winklebosses are, like I said, identical riverboat twins. They're huge. Very strange. Tim Draper, well, he wears like a Bitcoin tie. I think Gary Vaynerchuk did something with crypto at some point and was like, no.
NFTs for Gary. NFTs for Gary.
Yeah, he made like a lot of money off of like really shitty drawings. That's one of the more depressing stories.
Oh, the V-Friends thing.
I hope Gary fucking Vaynerchuk gets washed out by this shit, but he won't. He'll be like, I found the next scam.
Oh, he's
I was
he's
in the
still,
polycule.
he's still pumping the V friends. They're selling physical toys of the V friends and like Macy's or some shit. I saw. It's amazing how far the
There's
V
no
friends have
justice in
gone.
this universe.
Right.
This is a dark fucking world we live in.
Right.
The Gary Vaynerchuk is still going. But that's the crazy thing though. Like, how many other just insane fucking losers have we trusted? Like, how many more people like this are there? That's my natural question. Because he's not the only one. Well, you think Bittrex or whatever is okay? You think Bybit? What is Bybit? They're like the third largest exchange now. I ain't heard about them yesterday.
Right.
I don't know who the fuck they are. They do like 4 billion or like billions of dollars. Yeah, I'm sure that everything's fine there and that no one else did this. You don't think anyone else did this?
I remember.
Fuck that.
I remember last year hearing about like really starting to like hear more about KuCoin, and I was like, "Oh, that is a beautiful cat." That, by the way, that you just pulled up onto your lap. Oh my god, that's the fanciest cat I've ever seen.
That's Howl. Oh.
So
yeah, sorry.
KuCoin all of a sudden, he was hearing more and more about over the past like year or two, and I thought they were like a left field type of crypto exchange. Now,
no, God, if you've been sticking your head in the toilet long enough, you knew about KuCoin.
But now as all these things are falling apart, they're now probably one of the biggest.
Oh, they've been big for a while. Like KuCoin is like they've been around a long time. But remember, there are so many exchanges, so much fake volume. We have no real idea how much money is in this industry. And if this doesn't do it, I have no idea what's actually going to. But I don't think we're over, because think about it. When did 3AC happen?
That happened within that fall, right after Terra Luna, right? So
like
it had to have been late May.
So it was about August.
Or
so
August when they?
July, August.
Okay.
So it took what? July, August, September, October. We're in November now. So it took about 5 months for 3AC, because 3AC caused this, by the way. Like, that's established. The 3AC was what caused the crunch on them, yada, yada, yada. I'm not explaining it. There's so many things to explain. I'm so tired. But the big
Another
thing
day we'll get into that.
Yeah, right. But a big thing about it is, if it took 5 months for that to shake out and really shit all over, and then everything happened in 2 seconds, like it was such a quick escalation. Yeah, I'm thinking there's more. And I will give you my thing. I don't think Coinbase is crooked. I think Coinbase might be legit because I just think they're boring. I think they went boring because I think they probably knew about FTX quite a while ago. I refuse to believe no one knew. You don't think that, how'd Sam get all that money? You don't think any of that shit, I don't think anyone like put 3 and 2 together and made a polycule. Like, come on. But I think that the only thing that will reduce crypto to cinders quickly would be if Coinbase was wrapped up in something. But I think you could see Binance stumble if something bad happens. If there is, because all of these situations are caused by levels of margin calls, like basically huge loans. That's what broke 3AC. That's what broke SBF. I refuse to believe no one else has made some bad decisions. And I'm also sure that one cannot unwrite those. Once you're in those loans, you cannot escape. And I think that there has to be a big exchange that falls. And if Binance or Coinbase has any level of like insolvency issues, even if it's a brief issue with withdrawals that last more than like a few days, we could really see another panic. And I'm back in, by the way. Bitcoin never goes below $1,000. I'm getting 3. And keep that shit. Throw it out there. Why not? I deserve pain, but also like, no, like under $100. Like, I want to get in like cheap. I really do. But that's only because like money seems good. But also, it's never going down there again. But I think at some point, cryptocurrency is just going to become not very easy to trade. That's how this dies. It isn't the value drops. It's that it becomes unprofitable to mine, unprofitable to trade. There's no real money in it. And you get a point where just there is no value proposition because you're going to see another exchange fall with all these margin calls. And it's going to be dog shit. It's going to be so bad. I'm so glad my exposure to this is $4. I have $4 fucking dollars in Coinbase.
Pull out now! Pull out now! What are you doing, Ed?
Yeah, I think it would actually cost more in transaction fees to get that out. Because it's like split across like, it's entirely coins. Like, there was a point when Coinbase would just give you free money if you trade it, if you like filled in a questionnaire about Gorp coin.
Oh, right. They have like an educational system where like learn about this rando coin and we'll give you some crypto. Yeah.
This is what Cardano is, and I'm just like looking through the words. I'm just like, It's like that scene in Blade Runner. It's like Cardano, 88. You're off base. Like, just like fucking every time I really think about this stuff, I start going crazy. I'm gonna be honest. This has been a hard week. It's been a hard fight. You know what I mean, right? Like, it's just like every new detail makes it weirder.
Yeah, it has been like literally probably one of the busiest weeks in quite a while. Ed,
busy? Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, busy's one thing, but it's also just every new detail makes things not just worse, but much weirder. Like just reading on a random article, I could be between 10 and 50 billion. What? What the fuck is going on? You bought the naming rights to a stadium. You had a Super Bowl commercial. What the fuck are you doing, man? This is like if Bernie Madoff was in like the fucking Super Bowl. I'm just so down.
No, absolutely. Ed, is there anything you would like to? I mean, I feel like that would be a perfect place to leave it. But is there anything else?
That's about.
All right, perfect. This has been. I couldn't think of a better person to have on to talk about this, because we got into the muck of what was going on with Burgersburg in the previous episode of Scam Economy. Now to just sit down and shoot the shit about everything that happened with you was just the perfect like cherry on top of this week.
The cherry on top of the polycule.
Right. Ooh. I'll leave it there. Ed Zitron, everyone. Ed,
yummy.
Where can people find you online? Please feel free to drop links wherever you want.
Go to easy.substack.com. Scroll to the bottom. Find the Ko-Fi thing. Give me $5. Thank you. But no, read my newsletter. We just crossed 11,000 subscribers. I am also on @edzitron.com. No, that's not it. It's just @edzitron on Twitter. I am so fucking tired. Just like, I'm not even like physically tired. I'm mentally and emotionally tired from just reading, what's crazy is I'm all this tired despite having absolutely no stakes in this. This burning to the ground doesn't change. But there's something about it that's like the mouth of madness. This is my Cthulhu thing.
And it's the I told you so too, It's the I told you so as well.
Oh yeah, robbing people's space in it. No one cares that I was, but I'm like,
Right. Hey.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on, Matt.
Have a great night, and always a pleasure. Looking forward to having you on again real soon.
Sounds good, man.
And like I said last episode, there will definitely be more on this because this is still unraveling. But until then, and I'll make this short because I'm sure you're all as tired and exhausted as I am after this. Check out patreon.com/Matt Binder, where you can become a paying monthly subscriber to this show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/Matt Binder. Go to twitch.tv/Matt Binder and follow me there. Also, connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you can give me a free for you, paid to me, Twitch Prime subscription. Find me on Twitter @Matt Binder. Find Scam Economy on Twitter @Scam Economy. Go to scameconomy.com, where you can find all the links to the podcast version of this show. And while you're at your favorite podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure to leave a review. And with all that said, I will see you all next time in the Scam Economy.